Hello guys, welcome to another episode of DeFi Talk. Now in this series, I'm going to ask myself questions that I have never done any preparation or any pre-thoughts before, and I'm not going to do any editing after I answer the question. So it's like it completely from top to bottom, no editing, no cut content. And okay, let's start. So today the question I find for myself is called, how would you explain internet to a dinosaur? Like I haven't think about it for any time, but I just saw this question somewhere and it immediately grasped my interest. So let's start. How would I explain internet, the concept of internet to dinosaur? About my immediate response is that it's really interesting because I feel like internet means so much different meanings to even to humans, to us. At least I can find two dimensions of meanings. Firstly, the concept of internet, and secondly, what you can do, like the application of the internet. So if I were to explain the concept of the internet to a dinosaur, at least I will explain two main things. Okay, so the first thing, what does internet mean? Like, what is it? And then I would explain to the dinosaur, Mr. Dinosaurs, that how would you use internet? How would you, as a dinosaur, use internet in a dinosaur's life? Okay, so let's jump into the first part. How would I explain to a dinosaur about the meaning of internet? I feel like since I'm human and I'm about to explain something to dinosaurs, the most effective way of explanation is to try to draw the meaning of this concept to the experience of my interlocutors. That means, hey, is there anything in the dinosaur world that looks like internet? From the top of my head, in that perspective, I think in the dinosaurs world, the smell would be a very similar analogy to internet. Like, it's really, if you think about it, I remember I'm not an expert in biology, but I know for animals, many, if not all, many animals use smell or use different sort of sign to communicate with their similar beings, such as I remember ants will leave some trace in the soil and leave some smell to guide their fellow ants when they found something eatable or some place that could be used to build their home. So I feel like if many the animals were like that, I feel maybe that dinosaur would use a similar way too. Like maybe they will leave some of the smell from the body, or some of the smells from anything they can produce in the wildlife to convey information to their fellow dinosaur at least, and maybe they would use the information. If maybe a female dinosaur would leave her smell around her children so that it could intimidate other beings. So at least from these two perspectives, smell can usually be used as a bridge to convey information among the animal world, dinosaur as well. So if I were to explain the concept, the idea, the core epistemology, ontology about internet, I will use this analogy like, hey, dinosaur, hello. Do you know how you guys always use smell every day to communicate with fellow dinosaurs, or like to intimidate other people from attacking your kind? This is precisely it. We use internet. We invent internet precisely because we are trying to sort of expand our way of conveying information. Like, that expansion means not only an expansion across different geologies. Like, if you use smell, you will have to go there and maybe rubbing your necks around some soil, or rub your neck around some trees to leave your smell. But with internet, all we need to do, as long as we got Wi-Fi, all we need to do is to type something, and we can convey information across different countries, different dinosaur countries, different dinosaur continent. So that's the first meaning of the internet per se. Another thing is that if we can use the idea of internet is not only for us to use that thing to convey information across geography locations, but we can also convey information across different time zone. Different timeline. By that I mean different generations of human. Like, hey, dinosaur, have you ever wondered what's your grandfather life story. I bet if your grandfather leaves some smell among like some trees, it will go away for like 10 years. At least after 10 years, it will go away completely, and even shorter, maybe even shorter period of time. So, but if you got internet, you can you can receive the smell from your grandfather dinosaur. So that's sort of why the internet are be invented in the first place, and sort of why what the internet is intended to be used. Okay, I feel like using this analogy, I would at least the core idea of why internet is invented in the first place can be relatively clearly conveyed to a dinosaur. But that's not enough, because hey, what we really do with it, because internet is not just a static concept. After generations of using internet, we have sort of second-handedly creating a lot of wider application of the internet. So it's not sufficient to just convey the concept. I will also explain to dinosaur, hey, what do humans actually do with internet nowadays? So in that perspective, if I were to describe what we do with internet to a dinosaur, I would probably describe at least two main ways we use internet. One is, how does internet sort of improve our material life? Because like, hey, that's a dinosaur I'm talking to, so I bet what he or she most care about is hey, how can internet help me get more food, or can internet help me get a more like a better habitat? Can internet help me avoid the asteroid from attacking Earth and killing my kind? That sort of material thing. I would say internet at least nowadays help humans foster many of the hardcore technology. For example, internet is technology per se as well. For example, internet foster many like hardware, such as a phone, such as a laptop, such as so much satellite. All those things are impossible without internet, such as spaceship, which can literally enable human being as a kind to go to other planets, at least nowadays in a theoretical level, and it's coming true every day. So if I were to explain that to internet, I would firstly tell them, hey, do you remember, are you aware that after a few years later, some asteroid will attack the Earth and probably killing all of your kind, all of the dinosaurs? But if you got the internet, that means you actually have the enough technology and the sort of system of technology to actually technically moving away from the Earth, and you avoid distinct. So that's the first application I'm gonna describe to the dinosaur. Hopefully it doesn't get too mad at me or depressed about their fate. But yeah, another thing I would describe to dinosaurs is how it changed so much about the spiritual aspect of human life as well. What do we mean? Such, for example, even for dinosaurs, I would guess they would have some sort of social and cultural interaction, which can result into some productions, such as I don't know whether dinosaur has poems or not, but like I bet they must have some sort of artistic, at least social production, rather than just eating, killing, those something every day. So with the internet, I feel like it really fosters many of the human creation in the artistic and humanity perspective as well, such as poems, such as all those sort of movies are being created and recreated across different individuals every day on a daily basis. So that's the second application I'm going to explain to dinosaurs. However, if I were to explain the concept of dinosaur, concept of the internet to a dinosaurs, I won't definitely just include like the good stuff. Obviously, if I'm an honest human being, I want to leave a good impression to the dinosaur kind on behalf of humans. So I feel obligated to give them some warning as well. Hey, if you are considering getting some internet for your dinosaur as well, there's something some warning you should know as well. For example, internet in many dimensions are making us human beings as to be a worse kind. For example, after we invented the internet, we just realized like the ability to hiding from a invisible screen, to hiding from thousands of miles away, but be able to comment on the people inside the screen, actually make us, or at least sort of accelerate the hostility of human beings, of individuals. For example, you just don't know there are just so many internet haters that in everyday life, I'd like to believe they're actually a nice person because we know the consequence of our words, our actions, our sentiments in real life. But after I don't know, if you put a screen in front of it, somehow you have a distance, or you have a psychological distance resulted from the physical distance, and as a result, it just people just tend to be very unconscious, very uncautious, very just spur of the moment thing. If they have some spur of the moment sentiment, if they have some spur of the moment hostile emotions, they just spray it, and many people get hurt as a result of that. So if this was a dinosaur world, I'm guessing there will be more depressed dinosaurs. Despite all the good stuff about the internet, maybe since dinosaurs actually have way bigger physical force compared to an individual human, I would guess maybe, unfortunately, maybe one or more dinosaur world war will start early because of the internet. So I mean, worst case scenario, maybe before the asteroid hit the Earth, dinosaur would there's a chance for dinosaurs to extinct because of the conflict that rising from the internet between dinosaurs. So yeah, I think, after if I were to explain the concept of internet to the dinosaur, I will explain at least. So how was it? What's it intended? What's the intention initially of this existence in the first place? And secondly, hey, what are we really using it to do in our human world, and what might be the same in dinosaur world? And thirdly, hey, there's some bad dark side about this as well. So yeah, this is my answer to the question, how would you explain internet to a dinosaur? About this question. If you like this video, if you like to hear me talk about other questions that you just don't hear and don't think and don't say out loud in everyday life, please subscribe and please leave your question in the comment section, because your question might easily go into the next video. And again, thanks so much for listening. I enjoyed it. Hope you enjoyed it. Have a good day.